Hi class, today we're going to be going over lesson 5.2, how to solve two-step equations. So the first thing we want to know about is isolating the variable. So we use the phrase isolate the variable to describe getting the variable on one side of the equation by itself and having a single number on the other side of the equation. So obviously this will only work in equations where we have one variable, not two. However, this is the famed solve for x that everybody talks about. Where you isolate the variable and then eventually you get something that says like x equals 5 or p equals 2, where you have a variable on the left, that's like your x, and a term on the right, like a number, like a 5, a 6, 1,000, a billion, something like that. But the variable on the left and your number on the right. Alright, so our key concept for today is 1 and 2 step problems can be represented by an equation, and this equation can be solved using properties of equality. And remember, the properties of equality tell us that whatever we do to one side of the equation, we also have to do to the other. Alright, so let's first go over some examples here. So these are equations we got in lesson 5.1. 2m plus 3 is equal to 159. A quarter x minus 3 is equal to 12. And 4.2c minus 0.55 is equal to 3.23. So let's start off with that first one. 2m plus 3 is equal to 159. All right, so the first thing I like to do is I'll just write out my equation here. And then I like to draw a line straight down through my equal sign, so that way I know whatever I'm doing to the left side of the equation, I'm also doing to the right side. Now remember, what's our goal here? Well, our goal is to isolate m, right? So the first thing we're going to want to do is I will subtract a 3 from both sides here. So when I subtract the 3, obviously positive 3 minus 3 would be equal to 0, so we can just do a x or cross through those. On the left side, we're left with 2m. Now on the right side, we have 159 minus 3. So obviously 159 minus 3 isn't 0. However, 9 minus 3 is 6, so we get 156. All right, the next thing we need to do is isolate that m, right? So how can we get that m by itself? We can divide 2 by both sides. The reason we're dividing by 2 is because 2 will cancel out here, and then what will be left with? Well, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 1 times m is just m itself. All right, then for 156 divided by 2, let's see here, 156. 2 goes into 15 7 times. We would get a 14. We can bring down the 1 here. And then 2 goes into 16 8 times, so we'd be left with a 78. All right, so what does that mean? Well, it tells us m is equal to 78. Well, what's it mean to be m? What's it mean when m equals 78? All right, well, let's see here. So when m equals 78, what that means is when we plug m into our original equation over here, 2 times 78 plus 3 is equal to 159. All right, well, 2 times 78, we know that to be 156. 156 plus 3 is equal to 159. And then 156 plus 3, 159 is equal to 159. Exactly. So what we see here is that value of m is what makes this original equation true. So that's why we're trying to solve for m. All right, let's go on to our next one here. So 1/4 x minus 3 is equal to 12. All right, again, I'm going to rewrite my expression, my equation here, and then I am going to draw a line straight down through that equal sign. So again, the first thing we want to do here, we got a constant, so we want to cancel that out. So I have a negative 3 on the left. That means I need a positive 3 to get rid of it. So I'll add 3 to both sides here. So negative 3 plus positive 3 obviously is a 0. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel that out and write 1/4 x. And now we have 12 plus 3. Well, 12 plus 3 is 15 here. All right, next thing we need to do is we need to cancel out that 1/4. So we should be asking ourselves, what do we need to multiply 1/4 by to get equal to 1? All right, again, we can multiply this by 4. So 4 times 1/4, and then we'll also do 15 times 4. So 1/4 times 4, we're going to cancel here. We would get 1, so we're left with just x. Now 15 times 4 is 60, so x is equal to 60. Now let's double check our work on this. 1/4 times 60 minus 3 is equal to 12. Oops, sorry about that. 1/4 times 60 would obviously be 15. Minus 3 is equal to 12. And then 12 is equal to 12. So we know this is in fact correct. All right, last one for us here. 4.2c minus 0.55 is equal to 3.23. All right, we'll just draw a line straight down right here. Again, first thing we want to do, get rid of that constant. So we have a negative 0.55 on the left. That means we need a positive 0.55 on the left. And again, we'll add that also to the right. So we get a 4.2c is equal to 3.23 plus 55 would be 3.78. All right, now we have to divide by 4.2 here. So divide by 4.2, divide by 4.2. Now c is equal to 3.78 divided by 4.2. I'm just going to do that on a calculator to save time here. 3.78 divided by 4.2 is equal to 0.9. All right. Now we could double check on this one. 4.2 times 0.9 minus 0.55. 4.2 times 0.9 is equal to, it's equal to 3.78 minus 0.55. 3.78 minus 0.55 is indeed 3.23. So we do know this is correct here. Alrighty, everybody, that was quickly solving some two-step equations for us. And again, remember, we did this, what we were trying to do today was isolating the variable, or we're trying to get basically an equation that says x equals 2, or p equals, or z equals, something like that. We did this using our properties of equality. Our properties of equality tell us that whatever we do to the left side of an equation, we also have to do to the right side. Best way to remember that is to just draw that line straight down and keep track of your steps step by step. Alrighty, everybody. Hope this was helpful. I will see you all in class tomorrow. Bye-bye, everyone.